Welcome back, everybody. This is Brett Darian here, and how about we take a break from electronics today and let's build something. This is a Better Homes and Gardens coffee table. This is from Walmart. It's like a step up from their Mainstays brand, so this should be, a little better quality than that. And I'm going to be setting this up, and I'm going to unbox it first, take everything out, and then I'll set it up and assemble it, and we'll set it up here in the room and see how it looks. It should look pretty good. This is the coffee table that I currently have, and I actually got this from Kmart when they were liquidating all their stores, and I picked this up. It was pretty cheap, everything was discounted, and of course the build quality isn't the best. It's kind of squeaky now, and but it has held up well over the years, though, I gotta be honest. But I do wish now, though, that I would have gotten the coffee table that had like the shelf here on the bottom so you could put more stuff. But yeah, so we're going to open this box up right now, and we're going to take everything out and see what all pieces are in here that I have to deal with. So I'll use this knife here and hopefully tear the box open neatly. All right, well, I destroyed that, so this definitely isn't going back now. So hopefully everything in here is in good shape. So we can slide out this really thick board. All right, next. These pieces are E. And here's L. And H. And B. And this is D. And here's K. And C, unfortunately, this one looks like it got slightly damaged here. There is a little bit of damage right there. Don't know if you can see that, but there is a little bit of damage there. So hopefully that's not something that's visible when it's assembled. And we have L. Do we already have an L? Yeah, so there's two L pieces. And we have two G's. I think this is the last of the wood. We have two M's. Here's two N's. And the ever-important instruction booklet. So we have all the pieces out now. And now I gotta throw away all of this styrofoam. So let me clean this up first. And then we'll finally start assembling this. So here's a quick look at all the pieces that come in the box. From the large wood pieces to the smaller wood pieces. We also got 3 bags of hardware. The most of the assembly hardware is in this one middle bag. You get all the little parts here. And in the manual here, it says it's addicting. And on the back of the manual, it even tells us the date of manufacture, which is March 2024. So that's just 6 months ago as of this filming. And in the first page here, it tries to be cute in telling us that this hammer pictured here is not actual size. So, thanks for that information. But anyhow, move on to the first step in assembly here, which is we need board K, which is right here. And we put these in, and we install these familiar screws here. And those will lock into the other boards. And another quick tip here is we can actually scan this QR code, and that'll give us a video tip. So that's pretty neat. And also, some assembly and snacks required. Well, I don't have snacks, but I will assemble this, starting now. So there's K, all complete. So now we take an L, and we install the hardware on that one. We install these wooden dowels here on the side. So this one would go right there like that. And the other wooden dowel goes on the other end. And then we take 2 more of these hidden cams. And notice the arrow here. And the arrow points towards the hole on the side. So make sure that arrow lines up. If you don't line it up when you push it in, that's no problem. You can take a screwdriver and then just line it up like that. But that arrow has to line up with the hole on the side. And like they really stress that in the manual. And that's, of course, so that the cam screws will fit in like that, and then they can lock into place. So I'll finish this one up, and then next we'll do the same thing for N and M, and then we'll get to that step. Alright, now that those pieces are all assembled, now we put them all together. And I already have them laying out how they're going to be installed. So this end, which is L, this goes into this N piece. You see it right there. This is N. So that lines up with that. And this end of the N piece lines up with K. And then the top of the K lines up with the M piece, and they just slide in. And you gotta line up the dowels with the screws. So then this piece down here will slide in like that. And then you just push that in once you get this other side in on K, and that slides in. And then when you slide in these screws, you then turn this, and that locks it into place. Just like that. So you turn it, do it gently, and then that makes it nice and tight. So that you do that for all the corners here. You tighten that up, you turn to the right. Turn it. There you go. Now that's all tight. And we can make some last minute adjustments later, but for now, this piece is done. So now that was step 4. So now we're on to step 5, which will require the E piece. And the E piece is this one here. So I gotta go grab that. But it looks like all we're doing is installing some more hidden cams and installing some more wooden dowels. And then in step 6, we're just doing the same for the C and D pieces. And there are a total of 24 steps here, I think. Yeah, there's 24 total steps. And we're on step 5 right now. So this will probably take a couple hours to do, but when it's all done, it should look pretty nice. Alright, so now that that's all done, the next step is to put E on top of D and C. In the manual here, they have C and D just laying down on the floor, and then you put E on top of them. But I found it easier to just stand E upright like this, and then you can put the boards and line them up here. Like there's the dowels right there. You know, like that. So then you just line the dowels up with the holes. And now they're all in. And then you can try to lay it down and set it down on the floor. And then when you do that, you have to put in these screws here, which thankfully they are numbered in the bag. So this bag of screws right here will go into the table here on the front, and they will go in these holes right here. And then that part will be all finished. And this is what it looks like when you're doing that. Now you gotta be really careful when you do this, because this board is very top heavy, and you can see how wobbly this is. So you need to get those screws in there as quick as possible. So I got a screw here, so you just line it up with the hole, and then you just screw them in like that, and then you put another one in there, all the way down. There's 4 on each side, and then when you tighten those screws up, this will be a lot more secure. But until you do that, this is very unsteady, so you need to be careful. So now that this part is fully assembled, we can take the left leg that we assembled earlier, and now we attach it to this shelf part. And that should line up and just slide right in there. And then we tighten that up by tightening these hidden cams up here. Stick a screwdriver in there and tighten them up just like the other parts. Make sure it's straight. And then tighten them up. And there's a few other cams up here that we tighten, I think. Yeah, there's a couple others down here. But then we tighten those, and it's already starting to come together. Now the next couple of steps are just installing more hidden cams and wooden dowels onto piece F and both G's. And I've already done that. So now the next step is to take these brackets, which are in bag number 4, and you install them here using these tiny little holes that are pre-drilled into both G pieces. And then move on to step 11, which looks like we attach both of these to the F board. And then we attach that to the main piece here. And here's what it looks like when that step is complete. So we have the bottom shelf here, and that is now in place. And that is what we were working on. And this is what the brackets look like when they're all done. Now, something that I just realized here is that this part right here is going to be where your storage is. But I just realized that these are not actually drawers. These don't pull out. This is just for decoration. There's going to be some like handle looking things here, but these do not actually pull out. These are just like the top part here. That's where the lift top table is going to be. And I'm sure that's what the big thick board here, A, is. This is what's going to go on top here. And this is actually going to pop out and lift up. And this is what your storage compartment is. But there are no drawers here. I thought these may be drawers that you could pull out. That would have been nice. But either way, regardless of that, that's fine. This is still a lot of storage in here. And you can still put a lot of remotes or instruction manuals or whatever else in there. So, yeah. So I'm going to continue working on this. And I look forward to seeing the finished product here. Alright, so the next couple of steps are just prepping boards L, H, N, and M like we did before. And that will become the legs for the other side. And they'll go right here. And then after that, we can set it upright. And, well, first we have to put these tack guides in, which I guess become the feet. So we put those in on the bottom first, and then we can set it up right. And then we'll install these pieces here, which are in these other couple bags, and these will become the mechanism that will lift the table up. So that's exciting. Alright, now that that's done, I got the coffee table upside down. And now the next step is to just tap these little tack glides, or foot tacks, into the center of each foot. Now, in the instruction manual here, it says that there are no pre-drilled holes in the legs. But then what are these? I guess they changed their mind on that, because there are now holes pre-drilled into the center of the feet. So that should make it a lot easier then to put these tacks in. If I can get them out of the bag here. There's one. So then that just goes in there like that. You can probably push it in most of the way. You can take a hammer and then just tap it in like that. And that's all there is to it. So then I'll do that for the other three. And then we'll move on to the lift table mechanisms, which will be done on that board over there, which will be the table part. And then we're pretty close now to actually putting the table up onto the coffee table. All right, well, here's progress so far. I have the mechanisms attached to the bottom of the table. And a quick tip here when installing these brackets is that the instructions say that you can use a adjustable wrench with a Phillips screwdriver to tighten these nuts here. But you can get around that by just using one of these screwdrivers here, because these nuts here are 10 millimeter. Right here, so all you need is a 10 millimeter socket. And then you can attach your screwdriver here like that. And then you use the screwdriver to hold the screw, and then you can tighten it like that. Alright, so this next step is a bit tricky. In this step, you attach the lift top table to the rest of the coffee table using the lift top mechanisms. You use 5 screws on each side. Now, the instructions recommend that you get someone else's help for this step. But if you're doing this by yourself, like I am, there is still a way to do it, and that is you can set the back of the lift top table on something like I have right here. I have a ottoman cushion and a small digital scale, and I was able to use that to support the weight of the lift top table. I was then able to just slightly lift it up using my hands and get the screws in. And I also used a drill for this because it just makes it a lot easier to get the screws in. So I was able to do that, and then I was able to get all 5 screws on each side. Now, you will be leaving a couple of holes here for the next steps, like these here, and this top screw here in the center. You'll be leaving those out. You're just putting 5 screws in on each side. Alright, well, I just finished attaching this last wood piece here, which they call the stretcher, and that just bolts on to the brackets that we attached earlier using the same washer nut and screw combination. And again, if you do not want to use a wrench, all you need is a 10 millimeter socket. And then you stick the socket on the nut here in the back. And while you're holding that, you can use a screwdriver to tighten the screw. And that's all you gotta do for all 4 of them, and you'll be done. And then after that step, you are almost done. Almost time to celebrate with a nap. I've already had my nap though, so now the last thing to do is just attach the front 2 handles, which unfortunately, again, do not really pull anything out. They're just there for decoration, but they do make it look a little nicer, I guess. And then after that, the last thing to do is just to attach these little cards here and stick them on to each visible hidden cam, so it just covers them up and hides them. And then after that, well, that's it. That completes assembly. Time to clean it off a little bit. And then you can share your success story at Walmart.com or through Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Pinterest, or Twitter, or X.
And I guess I'm sharing mine through YouTube. So there you go.
Wow, guys. Well, what do you think? I think this looks really nice. This is the table fully assembled and all done. So the last couple of steps you got to do is just sticking these stickers on here to the hidden cams, and most of them are inside the storage compartment here underneath the table. So you pop that up, and then you peel off the stickers here, and you stick them on to the hidden cams here in the corners. That just hides them away and makes it look a little nicer. And unfortunately, that little bit of damage that I showed you earlier in the video, it is visible here, but at least it's inside the storage area, so you can't see it outside of the coffee table, so it's not visible from outside, just inside. So it could be worse, but other than that, I'm really happy with the way this turned out. One other thing I wanted to point out was the bushings here. You add these bushings in a later step after you attach these, and what these bushings do is that it allows you to close the top table softly and gently. So instead of just springing right down and shutting suddenly, it allows it to close nice and soft like that. So that's really, really neat and really cool. So that's it. I'm really happy with this coffee table. The top table here will support 40 pounds, and so does the bottom table here. This bottom shelf will support 40 pounds. And the inside here, the storage compartment, that can hold 25 pounds. Much more happy with this coffee table, much better than the old coffee table, which is still sitting over there. So yeah, let's wrap this up. Well, there you have it, everybody. A fully assembled Better Homes and Gardens coffee table. All assembled in, I guess it was about almost 3 hours worth of work. I actually started this early in the morning, like not long after midnight, and now it's in the early afternoon, so I went to bed and came back, and then I finished assembling. So overall, probably about 3 hours worth of work. Not bad. It is a little tricky getting the top table on when you're doing this alone, but like I showed you, it is possible. Just got to have something to support the weight, and you can get the top table on by yourself. But of course, it would probably be easier if you had someone, holding in, then you can put in the screws. And one of the benefits of having a coffee table that has a pop top like this is if you're sitting on your sofa and you're watching a movie and you want to have some dinner or a snack, well, you can take this table and it'll pop up towards you. And now you have a dinner table. So now you can just take a tablecloth and lay it down, and you got a dinner table to eat your dinner and put your drink and whatever else on here. And again, this will support 40 pounds, so you could probably put two dinner plates or 3 dinner plates, and you can have everybody around eating dinner on here, and it'd be fine. So I'll go ahead and add my first decoration. This is a little coaster from Buc-ee's, and I'll put that there in the corner. I can set my drink on it while I'm sitting on my sofa. And yeah, so very nice. You can find this at Walmart. It sells for about $100 at Walmart, maybe $105, $110. I got this on eBay for a lower price, of course. So do shop around if you're looking for the best price. But they should have it at Walmart.com for about $100. And I do think it's worth that. I do like the quality, and I do like the color, and yeah, so I think it looks really, really good, and I'm really happy with the quality. But that'll do for this video, guys. So hopefully you found this video helpful, or at least entertaining. If you did, let me know in the comments. But until next time, I will see you guys later, and take care.